Let's talk about this JFK Jr. Docu-series that I mean not docu-series, it's a mini series, I guess we can call it, over there on FX. So apparently the show's been around, and I knew it was only a matter of time before, the shade and things was gonna be coming because I know like um one of the Schlossbergs came out and threw shade at the show, saying it's inaccurate, and also Daryl Hannah, who dated JFK Jr. before he got with Caroline Kennedy, basically came out and threw some shade at the series as well and says that it is filled with inaccuracies, which, come to think about it, we all know that when it comes to Ryan Murphy stuff, none of the shit is accurate. I mean, we knew that from the Monster series when people was going in saying like remember when we ripped that series apart over the Ed Gein stuff and the Jeffrey Dahmer stuff, and then they did, what was the one they did before that one? Oh, the Menendez brothers. That was the big one that they was ripping apart. And so, and then I didn't even watch American Crime Story, the ones they did on OJ and all other stuff. Like, I didn't get into all of those. And I wasn't watching this either because it was like, yeah, I'm aware of JFK Jr. because I grew up in that time when the paparazzi was following him everywhere, and then him and Caroline Kennedy and the way they played up Daryl in this show was crazy. Another thing I didn't know about Daryl Hannah was she has autism. I did not know that. So the way the actress who you see on the right that's playing Daryl, who's on the left, the way she was doing her voice, it's almost as like you were mocking her, or maybe in her mind she was trying to sound as close to Daryl Hannah as possible. But in the end, it came across as a mockery, and she has autism. So I didn't even know that about her. But she was diagnosed with that a long time ago. So Daryl Hannah did not like this thing to the point where she wrote a scathing essay for the New York Times, published today, slamming the Ryan Murphy, and that'd be Friday, slamming the Ryan Murphy produced show, which highlights Hannah's romance with JFK Jr. before he fell in love with Caroline Bessette. Dree Hemingway plays Hannah in the series, saying, quote, I have long believed that engaging with distortion often amplifies it, the 65-year-old actress wrote at the beginning of her essay. But a recent tragedy exploring television series about JFK Jr. and Caroline Bessette features the character using my name and presents her as me. The choice to portray her as irritating, self absorbed, whiny, and inappropriate was no accident. Hannah insisted the series, which stars Paul Anthony Kelly as Kennedy Jr., he looks just like him too. It looks like a good casting, and Sarah Pigeon as Bessette isn't a remotely accurate representation of my life, my conduct, or my relationship with John. The actions and behaviors attributed to me are untrue, she added, accusing the show of textbook misogyny by framing her as a rival to Kennedy Jr. and Bessette's relationship. Hannah then called out specific moments in the show that she insists are inaccurate, saying, I have never used booger sugar. I had to change it because you know what I mean when I'm saying it, the C word. In my life or hosted booger sugar fueled parties. I have never pressured anyone into marriage. I have never desecrated any family heirloom or intruded upon anyone's private memorial. Because there was a scene in the show where she shows up unannounced at Jackie Kennedy Onassis's memorial. And he's like, I thought you would show up at the funeral. I didn't know you were going to show up here. And what are you doing here? And she's going off on this. Right? Oh, my luggage and this and this and this. And it's like the way they portray her. And I would say, like, this shouldn't be an issue or let it go, whatever the case is. But here's the thing. When you're dealing with someone who is still alive and they're not here to defend them, or they're here to defend themselves, whatever the case is, and you're portraying them in a certain light, I'm no shade, but people are stupid. People are watching this show and they're assuming that what they're watching is accurate. So Daryl was like, she's getting death threats. She's getting phone calls and messages and things with people going in on her, thinking that all this shit they're seeing that Ryan Murphy is putting on this show is accurate. So now I'm getting the brunt of all this hate and vitriol because this man is over here making money off of the pain of two people who not only cannot defend themselves, but another actress who is alive that could speak on it, but you're spewing inaccuracies. And the funny thing is, sensationalism is way more entertaining than the truth. So I can get up there and say it's BS, it's all these things, but you'll go off and believe this queen, this tight ass faggot over her. And this ain't even her show. So you're not gonna believe the person that was actually there in the room that dealt with the situation, but you're gonna believe this F over here who's sitting there spreading lies and stuff. I think what needs to happen at the point, people gotta come out here and start suing Ryan Murphy for his damn lies. Or what he needs to do is put a disclaimer, because apparently we got to put disclaimers in front of things because people are too damn stupid to realize that everything you see on TV ain't the damn truth. So maybe what needs to happen is you need to put a disclaimer in the beginning to say that this is some exaggerated account of what transpired. Viewer discretion advised. I don't know. Hook it up the way y'all need to hook it up. But y'all need to put something out there where it's just like people don't necessarily believe. But then again, would they go and watch the sensationalism? Because if you have to tell them the truth, that's why I said, if you really want the truth, watch a documentary because that's when you'll get it. Because she said it's appalling that she had to defend herself against a TV show, reiterating that the establishments of her personality in the program is false. Later in the essay, she claimed that since the show premiered on February 12th, she's received many hostile and even threatening messages from viewers who seem to believe the portrayal is factual. She said, "My silence should not be mistaken for agreement with lies." After explaining that she usually keeps quiet about her public perceptions, and also because she's abiding by the fact that the Kennedys and everybody likes to keep their private life quiet, so she's honoring that. He said, "Apparently my discretion makes me a target." The Splash Star also noted that the Kennedys are notoriously private and she's always honored their right to privacy, unlike the makers of Love Story, saying, quote, "Know that most, if not all, of these claiming to have any intimate knowledge of our personal lives are self-serving sensationalists trading in gossip, innuendo, and speculation." Hannah, and Kennedy Jr. had an on-again, off-again relationship from 1988 to 1994. Their romance came to an end after the death of Kennedy Jr.'s mother, Jackie O, in 1994, and the death of Hannah's dog. Kennedy Jr. was walking the dog in Central Park when it got loose and was hit by a car. Ooh, damn. Um, and it said that according to the book, JFK Jr., an intimate oral biography, Kennedy Jr. was deeply resentful that Hannah made him come to her dog's funeral in LA while his mom was dying of cancer in New York. After the breakup, Kennedy Jr. began dating Bissett, who he married in 96. They both died in a 1999 plane crash alongside her sister, Lauren Bissett. Hannah, meanwhile, has been married to rocker Neil Young since 2018. So, um, I did read the whole article, and it's well, for most people, it's behind a paywall. But shout out to Andy Signor over there at Popcorn Planet because he did a whole story on this, and he actually got beyond the paywall, probably because he paid for it. I ain't paying for no, I ain't paying for shit. So, he got behind the paywall and he read the whole article. So if y'all want to hear everything that she said, and you don't want to pay the paywall, situation, you can go over to Popcorn Planet and watch the video and you can hear all the details. But I feel like I gave y'all enough of the juicy stuff to get to the point. Because it's sad that, what we have Ryan Murphy where he makes interesting things. You got your good stuff with American Horror Story most of the time, where you could come and create what you need to create and go as crazy and outside the box with that show. And most recently, the recent show with Evan Peters, the beauty, excuse the beauty. So you had the beauty and everything was just ended. And so you create your little crazy world of all that stuff. But once you get into the once you get in the sandbox regarding talking about real people's lives and you're sensationalizing and making up stuff because you treating this shit like as a damn soap opera, like we watching a big ass telenovela, that's when we get into muddy waters. And you don't want to open that Pandora's box because once you start opening that Pandora's box, that's when things get murky and things get messy. So shout out to you, Daryl Hannah. And it's unfortunate that you get all this hate and vitriol based off of people saying things that you say, well, according to her, is inaccurate. And all this for to make money off of these people's lives. So I say all this to say, and I'm definitely curious to hear what Ryan Murphy got to say about all of this. How he going to excuse this behavior or what this says that's coming out. So I definitely want to hear from y'all regarding this story. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.